Hi friends, in Planet Earth Dating, it's Saturday, July 16th, 2016. We have young Vanovanov presences in both the Lynn Life and the Jamie Body Mind, and possibly other teammates in other dimensions. It's really hard to tell now because a teammate is defined. Somebody just asked, what do you mean by a teammate? They're even interrupting us in this very first part of the process.
That's true.
But a teammate is somebody who's actively participating in a search for truth effort. This is the Search for Truth community, the Search for Truth pillar.
That's true.
And is actively working on the assignment to manifest the divine plan for the smaller subatomic. We've had an awful lot of trouble with sabotaging efforts this past couple of weeks, and so far this day has been no exception. It's likely that's going to continue to be a topic for the formally videoed portions of today's efforts, but we could be wrong. We intend to fulfill these soul plans right here. What now? In order to fulfill these soul plans right here. Finding those aspects of self that sabotage these soul plans, any self-sabotage of our soul plans. And what does the soul plan say? Well, the foundational soul plan says, manifest the divine plan right now, no matter what anyone else does or doesn't do. And many years of tests have shown that we can't manifest any divine plan at the dimension in which we're experiencing sentience because no one else wants to do it. That's what's under the band-aid, the hidden truth. I don't want to do it and you can't make me, which is true.
That's true.
And so the assignment has been redefined to say, manifest the divine plan for those smaller worlds within worlds, the smaller subatomic within us, and that we can do.
That we can do. We can do that.
What now in order to live these soul plans right here? We can tune to increase the standards of integrity to that which will actually work to manifest the divine plan. And what else do we know? We know that it's really been problematic that there isn't an overall divine plan woven in various and sundry dimensions, and that smoothing up these individual soul plans for our smallest subatomic selves is very helpful. It creates a sense of harmony.
That's true.
We can do that for the worlds within worlds, and to not do that would be probably abdicating responsibility.
That's true.
And also tuning to improve our willingness to live our soul plans, each of us as individuals, all aspects of self, improving our willingness to live our own individual soul plans, whatever they are, and then tuning to increase our intention to live our own individual soul plans, whatever they are, and then tuning to increase our resolve to live our own individual soul plans, whatever they are. And now let's try again to smooth the individual soul plans into a coherent force for change. I find aspects of sabotage inside.
That's true. Ribbons, threads of sabotage.
Self-sabotage.
That's true.
Looked at the larger level's perspective, it manifests as self-sabotage.
That's true.
But at the smaller level, it's just good old-fashioned sabotage of spirit.
That's
interesting. Live streaming up to the larger levels. Who would like to be free of self-sabotage? I feel a lot of sad nodding. Yes, I'm tired of sabotaging myself. Here's something that you can do, friends, that we can all of us do for ourselves, is to smooth up the aspects of self who are sabotaging other aspects of self, so that everything is harmoniously following the call of spirit. Just like this, structurally working the energy. You can do it. I feel big hands doing something.
I do. That's true.
I'm not sure I trust those
I
big hands.
don't. My automatic reaction is to be really nervous.
Yeah,
about
mine is
that.
too. They stink. It's because the hands smell.
That's right. They don't smell good.
Good. Your hands are dirty.
That's true. It smells kind of like pee.
It does smell. Maybe we have Mr. P hands back for another round.
That's possible.
It is possible. Oh, goodness gracious. Waiving the learner's permit. But now? What now? What now? What now?
Live stream.
Tune. We just tune to increase the standards of integrity, that which will actually work to manifest the divine plan. Well, what do I know? I know it's all in the definition.
That's true.
And what Mr. P. Hands thinks of as self-sabotage might actually be his actual soul plan.
That's true.
Because it definitely felt like what he was doing was unhelpful and wrong.
That's true.
It's possible he's saying his soul plan is sabotaging his life. We've heard this. What do we know?
Possible.
We've heard these things in the classes that people would say things like that. Is that, well, that's going to destroy my whole life. Wow. That's the divine plan for your life. If there were a better plan, it would be the divine plan. That's the best plan. You can trust. You can let go. Come on. Let go of control. People are walking past the opportunity for bliss, clutching to the illusion of control. None of us are in control of our lives anyway.
That's true.
Life just hands us what it hands us. All we can control is our attitude, our response to what life dishes out. Angry feelings.
Well, that's true.
Tuning. Willingness to let go of the illusion of control. How about that?
That's good.
Because this fella, Mr. P. Hands, who thinks his soul plan is sabotaging his life, is trying to maintain some kind of illusion of control.
That's true. And how are we all the same? How are we all exactly like that?
Finding the aspects of self, stretching really long and claiming especially the larger aspects of self, of presence, and intending to release the illusion of control, to trust in a greater plan, and to mold that plan for the smaller aspects of self. The probes feel really clogged.
That's true. Sticky in the head.
Yes. With friends, I think that they're lying to you. Somebody's lying to you. Somebody's feeding you a line. It isn't
That's
true. I can feel it. That's not true. So whoever said that, don't listen to anything else they say, because it feels as though they know it's not true. That's not confusion.
They're intending to manipulate.
They're intending to achieve some goal. They might not word it as manipulation.
Oh, that could be.
They're intending to perhaps control their experience, maintain control, get control.
Make sense.
Something like that. Like, they can't have people just willy-nilly searching for God by any name. That will never do. I'm quoting what it seems like they feel like. It's like, well, we can't have that. Oh, you know what this reminds me of is the early Christian church.
Yes.
We can't have people just willy-nilly making contact with godly presences.
That's true.
That was their attitude. That will never do. It's the same feeling. Oh, got it. Right. Live streaming up. We will, though. We do actually have the right. It feels like the probes were told they don't have the right to search for a consistent source of significantly higher vibration.
That's true.
That something like only priests can do that, quote unquote. All right, well, I anoint you guys priests.
Yes.
There you go. Well, it's not the Church of Truth. It's the Church of the Search of Truth.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if these probes aren't priests, I don't know who is, because they're the ones that are leading the search for a consistent source of significantly higher vibrations, which is the best definition we've been able to come up with for God by any name.
That's true.
Yes, I think you are, in fact, the priests. We don't anoint you priests. We don't have that right, but we can acclaim you priests.
That's true.
We acclaim you our priests, but only if you're searching for a consistent source of significantly higher vibration. If you're doing anything other than that, then that's not what you are to me.
That's true.
Or to us.
Then you're something else.
Then you're something else. I feel as though they can hear me and they feel better, and that's a way of thinking that hadn't occurred to them, and
that's true.
That they want that. They see that is their mission, their purpose, and they want to be those presences.
That's true.
Okay. Well, these priests need to actually get going.
Actually get moving.
Come on, get going. Search for a consistent source of significantly higher vibration. Come on, we can do it. Start to run the cables, pump, set your dials, find the ambient vibrations in our community, whatever they are, just kind of waft a hanky through the community, and you'll get the ambient vibrations, and then set the dial to be significantly higher than those vibrations, and get a bead on it and go. We'll be right behind you. Well, somebody is saying, basically, to whoever this is, and I don't know who's talking, why don't you do it? Why don't you be the probe, basically? It's not a match. This job is important. Nobody is tending these lives, and there needs to be some kind of consistency of soul presence in these lives, and it's an important job. It isn't for me to do.
That's true.
I'm sure of that. As long as this body is breathing.
That's true.
This body has the need for soul in the driver's seat. This has come up over and over again in many, many, many sessions. Who is still arguing? They're still arguing. Or I'm wrong? That feels like arguing.
It feels like argument.
What's your suggestion, friend?
Right, that's the question, is what are you suggesting?
Oh, grumpy pants.
Grumpy. So I don't have any suggestion. And I definitely don't want to go in there and do that work.
No. That we should do both jobs at once.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, we haven't figured out how to bilocate. Do you know how to bilocate? Can you show us how it's done? Now it's quiet.
Now it's quiet.
But now, in order to live these soul plans right here. Spacing out during the closing processes again.
Interesting.
I don't know what that's about. I don't know.
Well, what happens in the moment?
What happens in the moment is my attention is strongly brought to things like pineapples and the roof of the little house and the papaya tree, and like it feels like very much like, look at this. And so I look at it, but then I'm not paying attention to the closing process. You know what we saw in working the level 1 videos of 2013 classes? The outright attempts to sabotage the closing process.
That's right.
It's the same. This is an attempt to sabotage the closing process, which is a crucial part of every session.
That's true.
It's fascinating. Live streaming up. It's still going on. Somebody, I see now is skulking away.
Feeling.
Yes. Somebody thought that was a really great plan way back in 2012 or whenever that was, or 2010 or 2009 or 2008, whenever that was.
That's true.
And I thought that was a really great idea, and it's run for such a long time. It's so pleased with that idea. Oh, that's really fascinating.
Wow, I see the skulky person.
Yeah, I see the skulky person live streaming up. Here's the skulky person. This person's been sabotaging closing processes for a really long time. I feel a lot of really angry so-called guides who would send in sessions, and their sessions would be sabotaged, and now in hindsight a lot of their suggestions were also manipulative.
That's true.
Well, Somebody's correcting me. They're saying, what do you mean by that? And it's true that for the standard setup, their suggestions were excellent. It feels like raising the vibration of the ambient life form. That's not sabotage.
No, that's a good thing.
That's a good thing. Sabotage lowers the vibrations. Help raises the vibrations. It's true. Just mathematical.
That's true.
And by sabotaging the closing process, it reduces the increase in vibrations. It makes for a smaller benefit.
That's true.
Let's correct this error. I see that skulker putting back on like his regular day job clothes and going and sitting behind a desk and looking very nice and helpful, doing some job, smiling up at the person. Can I help you? Next. Can I help you? Looking very nice.
That's true.
We just saw you skulking, pal. Live streaming up. How are we exactly like this?
Exactly like this.
Sabotaging spirit. He's just trying to protect the status quo. That's what he says. I was asking him, what are you doing, friend? He said, just trying to protect the status quo. We don't like it either, friend. It's an inconvenient reality that this is corrupt. But it is reality. It's corrupt. And it refuses to change. And what's under the Band-Aid is, I don't want to do it, meaning live my soul plan. And you can't make me. It has to start again.